Hey everybody, how's it going? Danny Soleil here, aka Travel Man Dan, aka Reading Man Dan, and welcome to day number 72 of my 75 hard challenge. 3 more days, 3 more days, 3 more days. Yeah! Alright, can't believe it. 3 more days to go. Feeling absolutely wonderful. Just feeling all the effects of doing all 5 tasks. And here's the thing, as we've talked about on 71 of these videos prior to this, the only way to do it, without any exception, is to do it the correct way. No cheating, no modifying it so it's better for you, or I got 3 kids and or I got no time because of work. And, if you're gonna come with that bullshit, don't start it, because you know what? This isn't the 75 hard, modify it the way I want it to be, a little easier contest challenge. It's the 75 hard. Tasks were put in there by the creator Andy Frisella for an absolute reason, and we've talked to nausea about it over these last 72 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading the book. We're almost finished. We got 75 Hard, a tactical guide to winning the war with yourself, written by the creator Andy Frisella. And we're at the section where it talks about how you should feel throughout these days. And with the exception of the last day, I've gotten through all this, and I could say it's pretty damn accurate. Each and every one of us, if we get this far, are going to have things that are a little bit different relative to what your lifestyle is like, what you got going on in your life, all that. The things that he talks about were done through reviews, research, and you can't say anything about the creator because he's done it a few times, and the man is extremely busy. He runs a podcast, a couple of huge companies, helps people out with their businesses. I'm sure he's very busy, so he's got the credibility, right? And all the people that he's talked about or interviewed and stuff, they're talking about these things. So they are going to vary for you, depending. It could be something as easy as where you're living, right? If you're living in a very cold area or a very hot area, that can definitely be something that contrasts to the other people out there. Time of year, what you got going on in your life. So you just got to find out, which one of these apply to you maybe ahead of time. So going into it, that when you are faced with some challenges, some like sub-challenges I like to call them, that you understand that other people are experiencing this too, and you're not the only one. You're not on an island. You just got to push through. So let's get through it. Focus, fearless, and the flow state, days 29 through 35. Almost done with my second thing of water. Let me get this reading voice. Do, re, mi. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm from South Carolina. Oh, sorry, let me start that over again. I'm from South County, St. Louis. Since I'm lifelong Missourian, I think we've already read that. What the hell happened here? Yes, we already read that section. Sorry. So, yes, very sorry about that. I don't know what happened. This is, it's kind of like a free-for-all sometimes. You just hop on here and just go with it, and my marker was left at the previous page. So today we're reading 6, Alignment, Automation, and Anticipation, days 36 through 49. About 25-minute drive from my office is one of the coolest monuments in our country, the Gateway Arch. It's not just a symbol of St. Louis, it's actually a symbol that stands for the American drive for adventure and achievement. Historically, St. Louis was considered the gateway to the West. The explorers Meriwether Lewis and William Clark left from St. Louis on their journey to the West Coast to see the Pacific Ocean for the very first time. I want to talk about how the arch was built because it provides a perfect analogy to what happens in this stage of 75 Hard. Construction crews started building the arch in 1961. It was a huge task. The Gateway Arch is what you call a Canterbury arch, and they planned it to be 630 feet. That's the tallest arch in the world, by the way. The thing about the arch is that it was uniquely difficult to build. Why? The project manager who oversaw its construction said it was way more difficult than constructing. For instance, a 62-story office building. That is because the arch is comprised is comprised of 142 12-foot long prefabricated stainless steel sections. But unlike a building where construction is just put together straight from the ground up, the arch is curved. So, as these triangle steel-shaped sections were fitted on top of each other, they got more narrow and spiraled towards the top. So as the construction progressed, crews had to use derricks and a scissor truss to make absolutely sure the legs kept steady. So you know why this was so important? If the foundation wasn't kept in the perfect position, if the lower sections angled the wrong direction, even by 1 or 2 inches, the legs would not meet perfectly at the top, what's called the apex. In other words, the arch would be cockeyed, probably by several feet, and you would just have 2 huge steel legs rising up from the ground and never meeting in the middle. Just imagine the cost, not to mention the embarrassment of having to start over. If the crews screwed up at the bottom, even a tiny bit, it would have catastrophic results at the top. So the whole project demanded hard work and paying very close attention to details. It required advanced planning and disciplined execution of a specific process. Was it a quick process? Not really. It took 2 years to build the arch. Was it easy? No, of course not. But the results were amazing. At the top, the arch is perfectly aligned. And that's because an awesome example not only of amazing architecture, but of human creativity, industry, and, as the gateway to the West, the human drive to explore and discover a new and better life. Well, guess what? When you make it to this point of 75 hard, when you discipline yourself, when you work hard, when you follow the process, and when you press on no matter what, eventually you'll experience alignment. The desires and dreams you have for yourself and for your life will come together with your dedication and discipline to do whatever it takes to fulfill those desires and make those dreams come true. Let me say that again. Your dreams will align with your discipline. Okay, so if you're wondering why aren't your dreams happening, maybe you just got to get a little more discipline. Your dedication and your determination, and the results will be fucking amazing. And that experience of alignment will lead to other things. You know how 2 people who share a common vision of life and core values just seem to click? When your desires and your discipline align, the person you really start to click with is you. You end up liking yourself because you are a positive person. You do what you say you are going to do. You trust yourself, and you know you can depend on yourself to put in the hard work and pay attention to the details. Forget cheesy self-love. You become your own best friend, and you're the kind of person you want to hang out with. Alignment will contribute to the peace that you begin to experience in the flow state phase, because there is no gap between what you want and what you're willing to work for. You'll feel more whole, because you are no longer lying to yourself and making excuses for your weakness and failures. You'll feel like an honest, authentic person, because you are generally committed to becoming your best. You will naturally becoming a leader of others, motivate them to become better, and by extension make the world a better place. So you'll feel like a good person too. If we really want to simplify it, the experience of alignment is just another way of saying that you will become a person of integrity. As a result of your alignment, many of the things that other people have to push and prod themselves to do will become automatic for you. Excellence will become an involuntary action. You won't be as conscious of it. You'll just do it. In fact, it won't even be something you'll do as much as what you are. Mental toughness will be encoded on every strand of your DNA, and your very orientation will be transformed. You will also start to find that you are linking your successful completion of 75 hard to your long-term success in life, which is powerful as hell. That's really what I'm looking for. All right. You won't see day 75 as the end, but as the beginning. You will start anticipating all the things you want to do and that you will do. Yeah, I'm already starting to anticipate, like, hey, which one of these things am I going to keep? How am I going to continue life? Like, I don't want to really stop a lot of the things and just go back and you know, just say, oh, I did it and it's over. You know, I want to continue and carry on and see what happens. You'll think about how you want to take a new, more positive approach to your relationships. You'll plan new ways to push yourself out of your comfort zone. You'll take on new tasks and tests and crave the experience of test and for triumph. You'll set new dreams that aren't so huge that people will laugh at you for them. Let me say that again. You'll set new dreams that are so huge that people will laugh at you for them. But you won't be laughing because you know what will do whatever it takes to make them happen. I don't know what's going on. That's what you can look forward to. That's what will happen during this time. You'll experience alignment, experience and excellence and mental toughness will become automatic. You'll anticipate all that you're going to do for the rest of your life. It's what happened to me. It's what will happen to you. Here's what other people had to say about this stage. This comes from Larry Dixon. The biggest thing that I've learned is that my negative self-talk can be only suffocated by action. At every point when my mind quits and thinks it's over, my actions proved wrong. Nice one. Here's Kylie. I'd rather start over on day one again as many times as it takes to get it right than ever go back to the mediocre life I was living before 75 hard. That's pretty cool. All right, this one comes from Ben Green. Confidence. 75 has given me fucking confidence. I don't let anyone or anything deter me from my goals in business, my fitness, and my family. I realized just how much my world around me had driven my decisions and had turned me into a pile of useless shit. The whole process has made me realize just how much of those bad habits over time needed to be unraveled. Well, damn right, Ben. A little harsh on yourself, but I get it. I get what you're feeling. All right. Let's go on. Note, at this point, the foundations of your transformation have been laid. You've experienced rapid week-to-week changes, and now, in the next major stage, there will still be changes. But the key will not be the number of changes, but the depth and growth of those changes. In other words, whatever qualities you've created, now you'll start cultivating them more and more and more. So, from this point on, we won't look at things on a weekly basis, but approximately every 10 to 14 days. Ooh, very nice. Okay, so pretty powerful stuff. If you get this far, you know you're kicking ass. You feel it. I've been there. I'm doing it. I feel it. So I get it. I know exactly what they're saying. So let's read on. The next 14 days are going to go from day 50 to day 63. Earned expertise and the excitement lull. I have a friend named Rick who was really big in American history, especially the United States' involvement in World War II. He's read all sorts of books about the major players in World War II, people like FDR, Hitler, Churchill, Stalin, Patton, and Eisenhower. He's read up on key battles and military campaigns like D-Day, Guadalcanal, and Pro Valley. So he can consider himself something of an armchair historian and expert. But a couple of years ago, he was on the Southwest flight to Atlanta when the captain announced that they had a very special passenger with them on the plane. He was a veteran who had been present at the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. And as excited as Rick was to have a guy like that on board, he was even more excited when he realized the dude was sitting right next to him. He got to talking to him and just hung on every word the guy said. The man was able to give a first-hand account of exactly what happened. He saw it all by himself. He heard the bearing cannon fire. He felt it in his chest and heart every time a bomb exploded. He smelled the stench of smoke and burned flesh. He tasted the salt from the Pacific Ocean and the blood in his mouth. From this veteran, Pearl Harbor and World War II wasn't a subject of intellectual interest. It wasn't abstract. It wasn't theory. It wasn't something he had read about in a book. Rick was blown away by his insight and understanding. He knew that what he had read from a book could never take the place of the deep and meaningful conversation he had with this man. This man had lived the history. He had experienced it in real space and time. He had earned the right to be considered an expert. And when you make it this far in 75 hard, you will earn the right to be an expert too. An expert in focus, discipline, hard work, grit, perseverance. You have earned your PhD in mental toughness. You won't just be able to talk about it in theory, you will have experienced it in fact. It will be concrete reality in your everyday life. It's not that you won't have more to learn. There will always be more to learn in life. But you will be to the point that on your own personal knowledge and application and experience of mental toughness and its benefits are so real and substantial. You are no longer wondering what mental toughness is. You aren't some Instagram bozo talking about it. You are living it and could truly now explain it. And you know what? You should teach it to other people. All right. I love he says that. And you know, that's kind of what I'm at here on YouTube. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I just go ahead and start the camera and ramble on what it's like my day, what you'll experience. I'm reading this book. I bumble, I fumble, but you know what? I'm going ahead and walking people through this, so I might be able to teach them and inspire them that they can do it too. I'm just like everybody else out here. We all put our jeans on the same way, and it just takes a little bit of mental discipline. I should say that a little bit different. It takes a lot of mental discipline, a lot of mental toughness. But like I said earlier in this video, if you see somebody else doing it, maybe you'll muster up that courage or that strength, or have that encouragement to do it. So you should teach other people. You should share the 75 program with them. You should support them as they work through it themselves. Why? Because we love to share the things that have changed our lives, and two, we enjoy. The craziest thing about where you're going to be at this point is that all the hard work and the soreness and the battles of the mind no longer are something you avoid. They are something you crave. Okay? You will actually learn to love it all. You actually think, man, when all is said and done, this has been pretty enjoyable. That's what you'll tell yourself. Your mindset is going to switch from, I had to do this, to, I can't believe I get to do this, okay? Or I got to do this. You'll look back as an honor, a privilege. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm feeling too. I know a lot of people are, not really maybe understanding that, but dude, it is. It's a freaking honor, man. I was talking to my buddy today, and he's like, man, you're a tough dude in the mind, man, because if I want a piece of pizza, I just get a piece of pizza. And I told him, I said, listen, I was the same way. I was, eating whatever I wanted, doing whatever I wanted, and I drew the line, and I got fed up with it all, and I wanted to see what it was all about. I found this challenge through a friend, and he told me about it, showed me it, and off and running. So hopefully you can do it too. All right, you'll actually discover what very few people in life have ever discovered. And when you force yourself to go through things you hate to do, all right, that's exactly what they're doing, you'll come to the point that you don't even mind doing them. You even look forward to doing them. You'll love them. That's the radical change that happens when you get this far in 75 Hard. And for that reason, you're going to feel pride that you're one of the very few people in the world who has become an expert in mental toughness. You are one of the few people who has advanced so far that you actually love it. The art, craft, and process of developing mental toughness. And I guarantee you, that's going to create a huge motivation to teach others and how they can change their lives too. Love that. At the same time, this could be your toughest stretch so far. Why? On a macro level, it's fun, it's enjoyable, because you're experiencing the benefits in massive ways. But on a micro level, it's no longer new, it's no longer exciting. It can become a habit and a routine. So in that sense, it's boring, okay? But that's the point. Remember what I wrote earlier about mastering the monotonous. When things are new and exciting, motivation is automatic. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when things become route and routine? What happens when boredom sets in? The average person fails. They abort the mission. They give up their goals. They never realize their dreams. But the mentally tough keep going and going and going, okay? And going. Man, sometimes I just need to hear that. I love that. This is what separates emotional achievers from average people. That's what I've been trying to teach you. And if you made it this far, you will experience it. This is the most physically difficult phase of the program. Love it. Love it. All right, just came out of it. And let's go into the next little segment. If you guys can, hang with me for another page and a half, and we'll bang this out, and then we'll get to pretty much the end of the book. I got a few more things I want to go over, and then we'll get into that. All right, here's where I'm at. Going into God mode. Day 64 to 65. To be honest, by now you don't need me to share much about the experience of 75 Hard. Yeah, true. I formulated my own opinions. You made it this far, you're just about done. You're in the home stretch. So I have a question for you. Do you have a favorite video game? Hell yeah, I do. Right now it's probably Mafia or Super Mega Baseball 3. All right. Teenagers today play Call of Duty, Minecraft, and Fortnite. When I was a kid, we had Nintendo. I loved to play the popular games like Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda, and Metal Gear. One game that was quite as popular as well known is called Contra. I remember Contra well. All right, it was a war game. You were a soldier who had to blast his way through a secret base and destroy the bad guys. Simple but hard. There were multiple levels, and each level got more difficult. More enemies to fight, more guns blazing, more bombs exploding, more booby traps to avoid. Yeah, it's probably, I remember playing Contra. I would have to say probably my favorite video game is Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. One day, I went over to a friend's house, and he was playing Contra. I noticed right away that even though he was getting shot and hit by everything from gunfire to missile blast, he was able to keep going. All right? Even when he fell into a booby trap, he had just bounced back up and kept going. I was like, what the fuck? That's awesome. I wanted to know how he pulled it off. There's a secret code you can enter, he said. It makes you invincible. He said it puts you in God mode. God mode. Yes! So, there's a way to just skip to the end so you can win the whole game, I asked. No, he said, you still have to battle through all the levels, but you keep playing and you're in God mode. You'll finish for sure. What a great analogy for this final stage of 75 Hard. What you will learn by this time is that you can't bypass the battle. You can't take a shortcut. You can't come up with a hack. You have to be direct. You have to be decisive. You have to move methodically from point A to point B. You have to act. You have to do the work. And you will always have to do the work forever. You will always have to be focused. You will always have to be disciplined. You will always have to be determined. You will always have to work to continue to develop more and more mental toughness in your life. But the reality is, at this point in the program, you will feel as if you are in God mode. You will feel bulletproof in your confidence. You will feel invulnerable to haters and their criticism. You will feel as if the mental booby traps of the bitch voice are completely futile against you. You will feel like you want things to be harder. You will feel like you want to be tested more often. You will feel like you can turn any adversity into an asset. You will feel as if there's nothing you can't accomplish. 2 words, God mode, okay? You will feel as if you are in God mode. That feeling is not permanent or a permanent part of you. It will come and go. But the best way of making it a frequent, near permanent reality in your life is to take principles that you have learned in 75 Hard and apply them every day. Decide what critical tasks will move you forward, bigger goals and dreams, and complete them without compromise, without deviation, every single day. All right. Dude, that's some powerful stuff, man. Just calling out things to be God mode is definitely some courageous words on Andy Frisella's part. We have a few questions left and then a final word. We're going to finish this book up over the next 2 days, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the last day, and then I'll give you a final video when I get back from Costa Rica. But the things that he talked about today, I've experienced. No, I haven't finished. I'm about 3 days away. I do feel that, and I do feel that it could slip away. So understand that these little tests that you're doing, you can also go back into that, like I call it the procrastination, the lazy, whatever, the undisciplined, the soft mental toughness, whatever you want to call it, whatever name you want to muster up. It definitely is still possible that you can get there. But doing this 75 Hard has definitely motivated me personally, and it should motivate you to continue battling, getting up and doing the fight, punching that bitch voice right in the face and just going ahead and getting after it each and every day, going after your dreams. Everybody has dreams and goals. Obviously, mine are as an artist, to be putting everything I got into a full-time acting thing and, that whole thing. But everyone has something relative to their life that through determination, through discipline, through hard, tough mental tasks, you can get there. And this is just a launching pad. I'm not going to stop or slow down. I'm just going to continue. It's going to be an intense fight every single day. Everybody's got their own little things going on, and the depressions and the things that pop into your minds, and the just the squirrely brain heart types of things that you have going on in life. You got to fight through it. Okay, you're talking yourself out of things and making you're unsure and being guess, not gaining the confidence you should have. This program right here, this challenge, will definitely change that. But there's a but in there. It could definitely slip away. So stay strong, continue to work hard, take what you learned in the 75 days, as I will, and can just plug that into, where you go after that. So guys, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. As I continue this journey, I'm making these videos to go ahead and look back on it, not to just hear myself ramble, but to see what I'm saying and hold myself accountable so that I can go back later in life and say, yeah, I said that. And now I'm still doing it, right? I love that, do the things that you say you're going to do. Be the person you say you're going to be. So appreciate you guys stopping by. But more importantly, I hope that I can go ahead and inspire that one single person to go ahead and give 75 hard a try. If that's you, go ahead and put it down in the comments. I'd love to know that, I gave you some encouragement and that you're doing it and that you completed it, all that good stuff. So, 3 more days to go. Appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm Danny Soleil, aka Travel Man Dan, aka Reading Man Dan. And remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it.